So ladies and gentlemen, we see how each students or each individuals have their own ability and knowledge on a different subject and different topic based on their age. We say what the school should do is that to create an effective way of character development and academical performance. We see how in the current status quo of how school are classing these students based on their age do not meet this kind of standard, do not meet this kind of expectation. So in our side, we would like to see these students do they would like to reach the best of their own capability if they have the same academic performance, if they have the same level of intelligence. So as team proposition, we define today's motion. It means that we are going to arrange these students on a one same classroom based on their intelligence and their age do not matter in this kind of cases. So how are we going to do so? We are going to do it by amplifying our mechanism. It is that we are going to create a two different way of teaching, where one, it is going to be about the character development of and mental training session of these students based on their age. If they have the same age, then they will take the same character development and mental training. And the second class, the second way of teaching, it is where they will have in the same classroom based on their academic level, based on their intelligence level, and in this class their age do not matter. It could be consist of a wide range of age, but they have the same level of academic. So as team proposition, we have the stand. It is that we believe age do not define their understanding on academical performance. So as team proposition, we are going to prove to you how first it is that we are going to improve the education quality. We are going to show you the possibility based case scenario and the existence of these kind of cases in status quo. And second of all, we are going to prove to you about how there is an existence of a worst case scenario that could be prevented in our side by amplifying this motion. So we are going to bring you two arguments. First, about the effective form of study, and second of all, about preventing a defective academical result. So moving on to the first argument about the effective form of studying. So on the first layer, ladies and gentlemen, we believe we are going to explain to you about how same level of academic studying. So we say, ladies and gentlemen, we see how in the current status quo right now that some students actually have higher capability than the rest of their friends. They actually understand more material. They have the ability to comprehend more, and they have the ability to understand the explanation from the teacher more comparing to their friends. So this just proof about how they have a different level of understanding of material of each students. So we say, ladies and gentlemen, because of this, of course, they are going to have a different level of ability and knowledge or etc. comparing to other students. So what will happen if we actually amplify this kind of motion? Why this is so important? It is because the teacher will be able to teach them based on the same understanding and knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. It means that the teacher will easily point out what is the difficulty that these students have, and therefore they could easily make another explanation in order for these students to understand this. For example, for example, we see how in the current status quo right now, a case of Jack in California, a boy who could solve math problem above his level, and the expert already stated about how this is critical if we stick to the age system, because we will hinder the improvement of this boy who could do even better in the future. And moving on to the second layer about how these cases happen in several occasions. So we see in status quo, there's already several occasions, even though it is rare in the status quo right now. But there are students who have ability above their age and proven to achieve a lot more comparing to their standard of age or to their general of age. So we say, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for not only the smart students but also to the students who are lacking, because the teacher could easily explain to them and therefore these people, they are not forced to be at the same level as the smart students and the rest of the students. So therefore they will actually have they might take a longer time, but they will get the same understanding as the rest of the students. So we believe, ladies and gentlemen, with the same academic level of of studying and proof of how occasion happened, we believe by supporting this motion, it will create a very effective way of learning. So moving on to the second argument about how it will prevent a defective academical result. So on the first layer, we believe it will decrease the gap of intelligence. How do we say so, ladies and gentlemen? Because why? Because we already stated to you over and over about how each students have their own needs at their own time. So we believe, ladies and gentlemen, knowledge, ability are not based on their age, but based on their understanding and based on themselves. So we say, ladies and gentlemen, why is it so important for us to amplify this kind of motion? Because if they are not on the same level of understanding, giving the material will be hard for the teacher. Because of what? For example, in a class, a teacher are giving some material. Student A might understand this, but students B might have a difficulty in understanding it. So if there's things that they don't, but in our side, if they do not understand, they wouldn't understand it as a group. So the teacher wouldn't focus on a certain individuals, on a certain person, and it will prevent students be left out or only one people who are progressing. So as an evidence, we believe about how 11-year-old students from England who have a smarter intelligence than Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. We see, ladies and gentlemen, how can these 11 years old be in the same room as the normal kid, and how can a normal kid keep up with her with the intelligence level, ladies and gentlemen? So we say that's why we support in our side. And moving on to the second layer about how it prevents the disruption of mental development by the lack of academic performance. So just like in our mechanism about how we stated to you that we are going to separate teaching mental based on age and academic based on their understanding. So we believe when they have a mental training that is suitable for their age, we also need to support them with a academical teaching based on their understanding, ladies and gentlemen. If not, what will happen? It is that the educational deformity will harm the mentality. What will happen is that these people, these students, they can't perform because they are being too smart or their lack of understanding. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, about how the expert already stated, Dr. Azan Berg, by stating about how mental health always affect academic performance, and it is also works vice versa, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, as team proposition, we believe by decreasing the gap and preventing harm of academical performance, we will prevent a defective academical result. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we say in our side, we would like to create an effective system of mental development and also academic performance for these students in order for them to achieve the best result that they could get from a school. So therefore, as team proposition, we proudly propose. Thank you.